And I had the chance.
Thank you to everything you do, 'cause I know you wanted to dance.
All you wanted to do was dance. And now my baby's dancing. But she's dancing with another man.
And we're back.
All
here
right.
At the Cozy Show.
Hey,
Here in the
that's
Cozy
it.
Corner. It's your host, Jaime. And
Chris
co-host Chris.
Mariscal. Yep.
So, I mean, let's get straight to the point, don't we?
Well, why are we dressed like this, you know?
Well,
I have discovered a new part of myself.
yeah.
Psychonaut.
What?
Huh?
Psychonaut?
Yeah.
What's that?
I think it's like someone who does psychedelics a lot.
Oh, they're like
and
a
likes to
psychonaut.
travel through dimensions
Like
in their
Slipknot.
mind. Like an astronaut, but a psychonaut.
Oh, now
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Not
a
like
peanut.
Well,
But with the psychedelic instead.
peanut.
Yeah,
Someone who likes pea?
I was thinking more like peanut.
Oh, but I don't know. A little
So-
play on words, but I don't know if it works like that.
Peanut.
I can't think of anything else.
Yeah. Chris isn't the best at freestyling.
I'm really not.
So, we
Mhm.
went on a journey. What do I say? A mental journey.
Yeah.
An adventure. You know?
If you will. You know?
We should we give some preface some details. So we went to go travel to
Travel.
Yosemite,
Yeah, we live like 3 hours from Yosemite National Park.
which we've never been to.
Fucking insane. I've been there once, I think, that I can remember, which was like in high school with my pops. And it's fucking crazy. Like, beautiful. And it's crazy how close it is to us, right?
Yeah,
Like-
I mean, honestly, it wasn't even a 3-hour drive. It was like 2.5.
And the fact that we've never been there, you know?
Yeah,
As
we
a
drove
group?
through it like maybe twice or thrice.
And we hike all the time, so it's like
And
no
we're always in
way,
that
you
kind
know?
of close to that area, right? Like we're just
Yeah.
like an hour away.
Groveland, yeah, type of shit. Yeah, so we went there, decided to go, woke up at like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
You know, didn't leave until like 7. Wanted to leave at 6, but you know, water under the bridge.
things happen.
But yeah, whole fucking day planned out. Crazy beautiful place. And on the way there, one of our buddy old pals in the car says, you know, I bought these chocolate little treats infused with the psilocybin mushrooms,
Yeah.
psychedelic shrooms. And I don't know. We had no plans of doing that day.
I didn't even think about it. I don't even think I realized they had that until we were on the way, huh?
Yeah, I didn't know he's bringing it. But he did send a picture like a few days before, and he's like, bought these in SF.
Oh, shit,
He
yeah.
was hyped on it, remember?
I don't know.
But yeah, I had no intentions of doing it. And I did it. I always thought like it'd be this crazy planned out thing, you know, when I tried shrooms for the
Yeah,
first time.
it's pretty
So
heavy.
crazy to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It just felt right, I guess. I was debating on it a little bit. Like I think my anxiety was kind of getting the best of me. Like, fuck, should I do this? Should I not? And I was like, you know what? The worst that's gonna happen is I'm gonna have a
Different
bad
for the rest
trip.
of your life.
That is what scares me. Like, that's my only fear regarding shrooms is like, I'm scared it's gonna make me lose my fucking mind. Like, it's just gonna push me over that edge, and then I'm like, not the same.
Like you're just different.
You know? And I think that probably only happens if you take like a pretty large dose, you know? But it's scary. I'm pretty sure I've been listening to the Hube before, Andrew Huberman, and I think he said like, don't really fuck with them if you have like immediate like relatives with like serious kind of mental illness.
Not everyone.
And we all know I do.
Yeah.
So that's what scares me a lot. And I think that's what's held me back all this time. Because if I didn't really have like that to worry about, I think I'd be like, fuck it. Like, why not?
Yeah,
you
we're
know?
good. Like if you're in the
But-
Hamptons and your parents were together and you had a nuclear family, you'd be like,
Right?
"No, fuck it."
Dog, you know,
Yeah.
white picket fence. But yeah, I've always worried about that. That's like really the only thing that's ever held me back. But I don't know. I feel like I have a good head on my shoulders. I feel like I have decent coping mechanisms to deal with stresses in life. So I don't know. I think I keep myself in a good place, like not too close to that edge. But I don't know. Who knows? You never really fucking know. Nothing's certain in this life. But yeah, I don't know. I decided to do it. What was your thought process like?
In the
Were you
beginning?
instantly
Yeah,
like, yes,
we'll go
or-
beginning. We'll just break it up by parts, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, because same thing. I wasn't planning on it either. And then he just like once he started saying it and talking about taking him, it just became more enticing. Like,
Yeah.
wow, we're about to go to Yosemite. You know, like
yeah, like one of the
it's
most
like
beautiful places
shrooms,
in
and
the
it's
world.
like seems kind of nice, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, like I've had a lot of concerns because, I know for those who don't know, like I had a pretty bad shroom trip a couple years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and like it was like hard to recover and like pretty life changing for a
Yeah.
while, you know, in not the best ways, you know.
Yeah.
But maybe good, you know. Everything happens for a
Yeah.
reason. Like there's probably some good outcomes, and so I told myself I'll never do it again, right? And
Yeah.
here I am, but I was just like, I think it's been enough. And it just seemed like good, you know. I didn't feel like forced. All my friends knew that, like, you know, I had bad shroom experience, so I knew none of them were like ever expecting me to do it.
Yeah. It was like all our immediate homies, you know. So
Yeah.
It was like good inner circle kind of.
Yeah,
vibes.
like I trust everyone in there with my
Yeah.
life, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just didn't feel pressured. So I was like, I mean, that's also something that's nice. Is like I just knew going into it, like it's my choice, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Like literally, if I said no, no one would be like, what, you know?
It is so shocking to me that you did it again, because I think you have said like you probably never do it again, or like maybe eventually, but I never thought this soon, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like probably the fact that I was like down to do it, you're probably like, okay, fuck it. you
Yeah,
know?
it is nice too because I was like, okay, I'm gonna be on the same length as Chris, and I think maybe if Chris wasn't on shrooms, I'd like be looking at him like, and it'd make me feel weird because I'm like, oh my god, I'm on shrooms. Like it's like when you're high as shit and then someone's not high, and you're like, I'm too high.
Yeah.
You know? So I was like, everyone else in there was doing shrooms, so I was like, and who's gonna be the outlier? Not really anyone. So it felt
Yeah.
nice, you know.
And we all took like a pretty similar amount, I'd say, you know.
Yeah.
One of the things in my head too is like, ever since we drank on the podcast, which I've talked about before, like it was such a fucking terrible experience. I've been so like content just being like sober dober and like not doing shit, you know. That was one of the things in my head too, because I was like, I already know I don't want to do like shit, you know, to alter my mental state. I was like, what if this just puts me even further, like in that place of like, fuck that, like I can't do any of this shit, you know. But
Could have too.
Kind of got a hold of myself. I was like, I'm just fucking overthinking right now, and like I said, like the situation was just sublime. Like I couldn't ask for a better situation.
Sublime.
And I'll say like I think I'll do it again, and it'll definitely be in the same situation. Like I don't think I could do it just sitting here in the house or like in the house period. Like I'd have to be in nature with you guys, nice hike lined out, you know, because that's when I'm the least like in my head. Just period. I'm always like I'm just so in the moment, so happy, so at peace, you know. So I was just like it has to be that, you know.
Yeah, I feel like
For me.
when you're in nature too. We'll get to it later more, but it's like when I was tripping and stuff, like it's really hard to, like if I'm on the streets, you know, or if I'm in buildings or whatever, you could really tell that shit's fucked up because like everything's weird. But if you're in nature, like it's so vague, everything's just kind of like how it is.
Yeah.
Like all those shapes, everything's abstract already. Like your whole environment's already abstract, where it's not like, oh my god, the painting is like staring at me weird. It's like, oh, well, the tree's kind of moving.
You see a couple fighting on the corner, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, like it really fucks you up. But you like. You're good, you know?
Yeah.
Here.
So let's get into it, huh?
And then I was like pretty hesitant because we had a hike pretty high up.
Far.
It's like a 3,000 elevation hike. It's up in 3,000 something.
Yeah. I don't know how much elevation gain, but it had to be like thousands of feet.
I think I looked. It was 3,000
something. Like 6 point something miles.
Yeah. It's
all
called
straight up.
Upper Yosemite.
Yeah, Upper Yosemite Falls.
Right?
Yeah.
And I remember by the time we were like, because we wanted to take it towards the end, like 30 minutes before we got to the top was ideal.
Yeah.
And I remember like before I got there, I was like, oh, like, do you really want to do this? Like, you know, like I was like,
we waited so long into the hike, and I was like, I'm already kind of chilling, you know.
Yeah, like I'm so good sober.
Yeah.
I mean, I drink.
Like I don't need this.
Yeah, like
I don't need it.
I don't want to need it either.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I feel like kind of dumb. I was like, what are you doing? Like, why are you? Can't you just like you're about to enjoy this sober anyways. Like you're gonna be good. You're not always gonna have shrooms, you know. And then I was like, fuck it, I'm too far in. Not in a bad way, like I'm too far in, but I was like, what are you doing? Like you're just tripping yourself out.
Yeah,
you know?
I had told Noelle at one point, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna take it because we hadn't taken it yet. It had been so long. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna do it. And also, like, I don't know if we should name him, but like one of our friends had taken him from the start of the hike, and he was not doing so good. You know?
Like had some bad reactions.
Yeah, bad reactions, and like seeing that, I was like, I don't know if I should do this. Like, I don't know if I want to do it. It'd be, you know, maybe in a similar situation. So I had said I didn't think so, and then I was like, all right, fuck it. Like, I don't know. I held on to it for so long because you're supposed to cut a triangle, right? And you probably laugh at me because I didn't take very much at all. But like it's a big chunk of chocolate. You're supposed to cut a little like triangle off, and that's 0.5 gram, which I guess is like a decent little thing.
It's
if
a
you're
gram.
if you're like a beginner,
Oh,
is
the
like
triangle.
a good.
Yeah. A full square is a gram.
Oh yeah.
A triangle is a half a gram. Yeah.
Yeah, which I think a whole gram is like pretty decent. Our friend Andrew, fucking put him on the spot,
Jesus.
who does this like a little more than us, I'd say. He said he takes like 2 or 2.5 grams and to like really, really like
Get
trip
into
balls,
it, yeah.
kind of, you know? So that's what we're talking here. But I know I'm pretty sensitive to shit. Like whenever I smoke or, I don't know, I'm just pretty lightweight. I feel like shit hits me. So anyways, we got one of those triangles. We cut that in half.
No. We cut the square in half.
No, we had a triangle we cut in half, like a little piece. Me and Noel did, at least.
I think the square is 2 triangles.
Yeah.
So then I think cutting the triangle, because I saw him weigh it, and I think it was like, I don't know, whatever. Who cares?
Anyways, we took a pretty small amount.
Yeah. But then
And
we weren't really feeling it.
I think I felt it a little bit, but I was also like, I don't know if it's placebo, because we're hiking this steep-ass thing, right? So I ate it, hiking it, and we kept taking like breaks because
It was
this is
so
a really
bad.
intense hike.
By the end, I was so done.
Really dead.
Ah!
Wait up there, partner. 1 second of your time.
1 second.
Quick little ad read for the pod, the only one we'll have. Mosaic
skip it.
Apparel. Shout out Mosaic Apparel. Small local clothing business. Owned and CEO'd, fucking DEA'd, NYPD'd by our jiu-jitsu coach, good friend, mentor, grandfather, Thiago Ricci.
I've heard that he's taken 10 grams of shrooms at once, and that the shrooms were feeling something in his stomach.
He made the shrooms.
Yeah, his stomach was like. Anyways,
I wouldn't put it past him.
No.
You know.
Yeah.
God damn it. But yeah, small local business, Mosaic Apparel, right here in Central Valley. Great prices, free shipping if you're local. You can use code COZY for 10% off, all caps COZY. They sell anything and everything you could ever want. Hats, shirts, sweaters, hoodies, sweat shorts, fucking windbreakers, anything, man. And yeah, he's always putting out new shit. We'll put all his links here, mosaicapparel.com, Mosaic Apparel on Instagram, linked in the description also. Go check him out.
Alrighty, guys, go back to the pod. We're probably fucking
Talking
Chris
about
is talking about
shrooms.
how he saw the demon in the trees.
Yeah.
Base.
Peace. And every time we take a break, I was like, I feel like I can feel it a little bit.
I'm fucking feeling it right away.
No, for a while he wasn't either.
Yeah,
but then once he
true.
did.
Once he did, he's like.
But yeah,
I'm
like
feeling
every
it.
time
Oh
he
my God.
stops, it's like, I feel like I feel a little bit, you know,
When he
maybe
stopped,
just
I
a
was
little
like a
bit
little-
further, like away.
I felt light.
Yeah. But then we'd start hiking again. I was like, I feel nothing.
Yeah.
Like I feel
Okay.
normal totally.
Yeah.
And then we'd stop and I'd feel it a little bit. So like every time we took a break, we'd eat a little bit more, you know, just a little nibble. And then
Yeah, so he kept eating some.
kept eating it. And then there was one break where I think it was like the last one we took. And you and Noel took like kind of a big piece. And then I took like a little bit less than y'all. And I think that's what set apart our trips a little bit.
True,
because,
just a little, the intensityness.
yeah, because I think you guys were definitely like a little more intense than me, which is how I wanted it. I'm really glad with like how much I took.
Yeah, I think
feel
you did
like
great.
it was perfect for me because I was like, I've always said like, if I do it, I want the first time to be pretty like mellow and like just to peek into that world, you know? And that's what it was.
No point in jump into the lion's den.
And then we got to the top. Noel fucking fed a squirrel nuts out of his hand too. Fucking, I'll put the video right here. While we're on them, it was pretty crazy. And he'd put his little hands on his finger to get the nut. It was so fucking cute. But yeah, we got to the top, and that's when we all were feeling it, like at the same time. Like all of us, I feel like at once we're like, holy shit, you know? Noel, I think first though, like we stopped and he was like, oh fuck, he's like, I fucking feel this shit, and I was like, ah. And then,
Oh my gosh, is that a trip?
dude, it was fucking fun, you guys.
Yeah,
I'm
so
not
go-
gonna lie,
go
it was
do-
so fun.
Do your whole shebang.
Yeah, so this is my experience. So we got to the top, just so fucking giggly, like so goofy, so just it was good, man. Like I did not expect that whatsoever because I always just thought it was like, you know, I just thought when you take shrooms, it's like, oh, I kind of get a different outlook, different perspective. You tripping, you know, you fucking just different sensations and stuff. But I didn't know it was actually like being high, you know, like it felt like a high, you know, like I felt really good, really good. Everything's really funny. I'm just kind of loopy and stuff. And that was so fucking enjoyable. Like, especially in nature, especially getting to the top of that hike, finishing it. It was just great. And like me and Jaime, we just go back and forth trying to make jokes and shit all day. and our jokes were just so fucking funny.
To us,
like,
for sure.
to us, yeah. It was like everything was just landing so hard. Like, oh my god, dude, it was
We were laughing
fucking.
for so long.
It was so fucking sick. I'll put some clips of us giggling right here.
Yeah.
It was fucking. It was amazing. I loved that part of it, especially with like you three. It was just like Andrew actually ended up because Andrew had separated from us. We had separated from.
Yeah, that fucker took off.
Yeah, and then we had met up with him up there, but it was just the vibes were perfect. You know, it's perfect. And then at the top, big ass waterfall, right? But we went to like this creek first. That is the waterfall, but not to the falling part yet. And we're just like, this looks like a good spot, you know. And then the only like visuals I had was I was reading the sign that said like to be careful swimming because the rocks are like slippery and shit, and you can like basically die off the waterfall.
It'd be so awful on shrooms.
I know.
Ah!
But while I was reading the sign, I was like kind of focusing to read it, and I remember seeing the sign like pulsating kind of to me, and I was like, holy shit.
That was like right when we got there too, so it was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I remember I said your name, so I was like, hi man. Like I just like yelled it. Which I wasn't like scared or anything. I was like, that's pretty cool, you know. And I wanted more of that. I'll say like that's the only thing I was kind of a little bummed about was that I didn't have like those visuals of like, oh my god, everything looks so like cool or like pretty or
like
whatever,
crazy trippy or something.
Yeah, I didn't have that. Also, the sun wasn't out, which I think would have added to it a little bit.
Yeah, because I don't think it's as colorful as it was more like a dull,
it's
a
very
little
gloomy.
bit.
Yeah, which I always hear that like with the sun out, it's like everything just looks so colorful and
so
vibrant.
warm.
Yeah. So I wish that was there, and I just wish I saw a little more like trippy visuals and shit. But I had a great time. Like that, and then just a few other points I'll add is like I remember just being so comfortable, like in myself, in my body. Like I wasn't thinking at all about like how I was being perceived by others and stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of people around, like from time to time, and we were just sitting there like laughing our asses off, like kids, you know, which was so
very
fun.
loud too.
Yeah, loud. Like we didn't give a fuck. And I remember like thinking in that moment, like I don't care like what anybody thinks at all. I'm just so fucking happy, like just so at peace and shit. And just very calming. I never felt at all like I was at risk of like going down a rabbit hole of like anxiety or negativity or anything, which I'm sure is probably because I took a very low amount, you know.
How'd you feel once you went in the water?
But because we sat there for a while eating and stuff, just laughing our asses off, and then we went in the water, which was freezing, but we liked that, you know. We like to take our cold plunges and stuff, and I thought that would like kill the little high I had. Man, I don't think it did. Like,
I don't think it did. I mean, maybe a little bit.
Maybe in the moment you're like, oh, like I'm pretty alert now, but like once I got out, I still felt very like the same way, like just calm.
I think that was the
like,
peak of everything, so it's like nothing was stopping it, you know?
Yeah, that was nice though. I remember being really positive to myself as I walked into that cold ass water because it was really cold, and I remember like breathing and just being like, you could do it, and then I didn't even feel the coldness after that. Like I was just like, I'm good, you know? But yeah, sat there and shivered a little bit, put my jacket on, and it just felt great. We also like after that we went to the edge of it's like the lookout of the waterfall. Crazy ass fucking view. I'll put pictures here. And we're sitting on the edge of like a fucking like 3,000 foot drop, like on the edge, like the edge of this couch, and then it's death. That's it. And I'm like really, really afraid of heights in those situations. And I remember thinking like, this is the least afraid I've ever been of like.
He's on the edge too.
Yeah, which like I don't think I was to the point where I was like stupidly fearless, but I just remember thinking like I'm calm. Like I'm very aware that I could die right now, but like I wasn't crazy anxious like I usually would be. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. And then started hiking down a little while later, and then I pretty much came down like during the hike, and then What about you?
So for me, I just wanted to kill. Just kidding. It was good. So it started hitting right when we got to the top, which was like perfect timing. Everything like just planned really well.
I remember thinking, because you're like, I want to take it later, and I was like, that's too late. Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Perfect fucking timing.
Because I just knew I was trying to gauge off of Noel's map and our progress, like how much more longer, and I was like, dude, it just seems like we have so much more time, you know. And so it started hitting me, especially when we got to the creek, right? I do remember like being pretty anxious at times, like being like,
oh really?
Just because I know what's could happen.
Yeah.
You know, like it's
You've
like
seen it.
I've seen the devil. You know, so I know what's on the other side of the door.
Fuck.
And it was like
That's an analogy.
Yeah. Thank you. So I was like, you know, I mean, the whole time I was pretty cautious. Like, I wasn't like anxious to the point where I was like, this is a bad trip, but I was always like, I was a little scared.
Aware of what could happen.
Yeah. And then I remember, okay, let me get the cons out of the way. Because there's a lot of pros, but the cons. Okay. So, like, pretty anxious. I remember I was scared if I had to poo. Cause I was like, fuck, like we're in the middle of nowhere, you know? And I
toilet paper though, right?
Yeah, but I just had that feeling of pooping. I was like, I got to go find somewhere.
That's
like,
always a thing for you. Huh?
Yeah. And I remember I had to poo like 3 times. And I was like, God, please don't.
Like you shouldn't, or you tried to poop in the morning.
Yeah.
You tried to poop before the hike. I don't think you could any of the times, right?
Yeah. I did right before we left.
Okay.
I just pushed it out. And then I remember I was like, I wish it was warm, you know?
Yeah.
It was cold. And like,
not crazy cold. Like I had my shirt off.
After once you got the water.
True.
I'm saying like once you're there.
Okay. Yeah.
Because
raining
the thing about me is that I would
on.
say when I was high too, I was like, I get really like crackhead when I'm cold and high.
Oh.
Because you're like, and you're like, you're tense, you know? But when you're like warm, you're just like, So I was like, I wish it was warm.
Yeah.
And then I would say the other thing is that there was this random guy and he was cool, but at the same time, I think he just like overstayed for me a little bit. And like, I just didn't want to talk too much anymore.
Can you see how that came about?
Yeah. Okay, let me go back. Okay, so let me just go to like the pros and then it'll lead to that.
Okay.
The great part is like the last Shroom trip, I was a lot in my head. Like my inner voice was so loud. And after that, my inner voice had been loud for like, you know, months. You know, like just something I've never really I guess was like super aware. Chris?
Yeah. Do you feel like you're kind of like a kid back then? Like more like childlike when you did that first Shroom trip?
Like my like
just mentality wise, like do you feel like you've matured a lot and like you're so much more like a lot more aware now?
Oh yeah, I think it's just like that's just with experience, you know?
Yeah.
It's like even if I like let's just say I went and taught a class today and then I taught a class like tomorrow, even though not a lot of times has passed, it's just the experience of doing it once is like just so much. And now I have the experience and I had 2 years to think about it, which was a big thought. Like I was thinking about everything for so long, just about what like why and what's happened and everything. So felt really like good in the fact that I was like, God, like what's happened and stuff. But I mean, also it kind of makes it a little scary because you're like, fuck, like what if you just, and it's like, you know, people say like do it in a good mental state, and I'm not saying like I'm in a bad mental state, like I was in a good mental state, but I'm like, I'm always slightly in a bad mental state. Like I mean, I'm not.
You're never gonna be perfect, right?
Yeah, you know, and it's like you always have that like all that stuff behind, like, you know, deep.
Yeah.
And that shit could come out quick.
Yeah.
Especially on Shrooms, it's like a rap. Like you sink. Like, you know, like let's just say I got like super anxious. Like you could sink into anxiety so quick. Even if you weren't feeling anxious like that whole day or that whole month or whatever, it's like that'll pop up because it'll just find it, you know? Mm-hmm. So I was scared of that. But no, I felt really good with my friends. Like I was just talking so much. And like he said, we're laughing so much.
And even because I remember you were like, okay, we got to not say like mean shit to each other. Cause our humor, especially Jaime's, but like our humor a lot of the time tends to be like, you know, kind of roasting each other and stuff. And even when we were like talking like that to each other, it was just like even funnier.
Yeah.
Like it was like, I never felt like at risk of being like don't say that shit to me.
Yeah. Like, oh my God, you're going to freak me out.
Exactly.
You know?
So that was good. Cause I'm like, I'm glad I wasn't.
Yeah. I don't think I ever at one point was, I don't think you guys ever said anything that was, there's only one part where you're like, I was putting on my socks or something and you're like, we're waiting for you. I was like, fuck, I gotta hurry up.
Bad, yeah.
Yeah, but I
was trying to be careful
not
not
so
to,
quick, you know?
Because I know that's kind of a thing for you sometimes. Like, you don't want to feel like the burden or like everybody's waiting on you basically, or you know, like fuck, this guy's way
like,
higher.
Oh shit, okay, I'm sorry.
Dude, that so funny though. Everything was just so fucking
laughing for so long, and then I went in the water because we were like, and I kind of didn't want to at first because like I'm so comfy and like I don't want to risk it.
Me too.
You know, like what if I like I don't know, it shocks me.
Yeah.
And I'm like tripping out, but I was like, I am so comfortable and cold now. Like that is my thing. Like just to push it and do it.
Yeah.
It's like I got to do this for myself. So I went in. You know, Andrew went in first. You went in. You stayed in there for like 2 seconds too. Swam, and then I was gonna walk, but it was so slippery. I just jumped in.
The rocks were slippery. I was a little sketched out.
So I just dived in, like semi-dived in.
Yeah.
I felt good. You know.
Yeah.
And then I just sat there because I was gonna get out, and then I just sat there because I was like,
surprised you stayed in.
I was like, you know what, this is icing. Like my legs hurt a lot, and like I just feel good, and I want to see if I could calm myself down. And there was a couple like shaking moments, and then I would calm, and then some shaking, but I would calm. And I remember being like pretty good at focusing because I was fucking tripping out. And then I got to this point where I was like super focused, because I was just trying to calm myself, like be in the water, relax, and it's fucking freezing.
Yeah.
The water. And then like I got to the point where I was just closing my eyes, and then I was telling Chris like, okay, so you know your eyes are kind of like, you know, you close your eyelids and it's black most of the time, but then it's like it's almost like when you stare like at a light and then you close your eyes and you see that red. Yeah. So I remember getting to that point where I was like, I could see that brightness, and like it was just getting brighter and brighter and bright. Like I kind of had to find it, you know?
Shit.
It's like when you know how sometimes every once in a while you see like the squiggly stuff in your eyes?
Floatings?
Yeah, and it's like you try to focus on it.
But you can't.
Yeah.
And then you move your eye and it's like...
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah. So it's almost like I could find it, and then I was just kind of finding it. And it was just getting my whole eyelid like bright. And then it just started getting to like crazy trippy visuals, which was nice. Like, it was really cool because I was like, I felt in control.
What? Do you remember what?
It's like, it's just like it's almost like, you know those things where you like you put sand on like a board and they play music and it does all different shapes?
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like that. And, you know, like with your eyes, it was just like all over. It was doing like these crazy or like weird formations.
Patterns and shit?
Yeah, just hella patterns.
Wow.
And then I was just like sitting there and I was like finding it, you know, like I was being able to kind of find it more and more.
I don't think it took that much more than me to like be having such a different experience, like in that regard. That's
and maybe
wild.
It's like the concentration of it all. Like maybe your peak, you were doing something else. And with this, I was just literally trying to focus, stay not cold and look at this shit because I was like, it's cool. Then this guy came. And because he jumped in the water first.
Yeah,
before so you could already tell he was cool. He's a baller. You know?
Yeah.
Like, he's cool.
Like 50-year-old white dude, probably.
Yeah. And then he like started talking to us, and he's like, where are you from? I was like, oh, Modesto. And then we just had like a conversation. And then like he just got closer.
I thought you were chilling in that moment. I was like, I think Jaime's like coming down for sure. Like,
oh, yeah.
Because you were just so collected. Like you're sitting in the water, fine, in freezing water. And you're just having like a perfect conversation with this guy.
Yeah.
About work, about your hours, like how you schedule, like all this shit. And I was like, oh, he's chilling.
I was doing my best to be like, okay, like I want to communicate, you know, try to talk. So I wasn't pretty good. And then, I don't know. Yeah, he just kind of kept going. And I don't think like our age and my experience, and I'm tripping. I was like, I can't keep this up without really having to try. And I don't really want to try.
Yeah.
You know? And then Chris came, and then he was talking to him for a while. Then
I remember just wanting to join because I don't know why. I think you guys were just talking about a lot of topics that I was like, had experience in, so I was like, all right, fuck it, let me go over.
It was interesting. Like he's an architect. He works like remote.
He lives in his van.
He lives in his van. Kind of travels. And I was just thinking like, wow, that's nice. You know,
like he's actually doing that because I never met anybody that does that. I just see it on Instagram, and I'm like, it's crazy to see like that shit's actually real.
Possible, you know?
Yeah.
And then Chris joined, and they were talking, and then I just kind of zoned out at one point because I was like, I was kind of kept laughing because I don't know, I just kept like he just kept saying shit, and I was just like, dude, it's going so over my head, you know.
He was saying so much jargon, and like hiking jargon, and just all this shit, all these places he's referencing that we fucking have no idea where they are.
22, man.
I know.
And then like it's not funny, but like it's anything on shrooms is kind of funny sometimes when you're in that mode. So like every once in a while he'd stutter. And I'd be like, fuck. You know, like,
really?
I just want to laugh,
I didn't notice him stutter at all.
Like, it wasn't crazy stuttering, like, he had an issue, but he would just stutter. Like, you know, you're talking so fast, you stumble on your words. I do a lot.
Yeah.
But, like, in shrooms, it's like, you know when you don't want to laugh, you know? So then you want to laugh, you know?
Yeah.
And then I remember, like, Andrew was looking up at me, and I would just, like...
and then I would... You're hella laughing. Yeah. Andrew said.
And I would just look away into the water, because he's, like, up here, and I'm just, like... And it's like I know even if he wasn't doing anything, it's like I shouldn't be laughing because he's not saying anything funny really, and I want to laugh, so then it makes me like want to laugh even more.
It's that fuck, dude. That shit's fuck. That happens to me all the time, like at work. So many situations I'm like I can't laugh.
I always do the same thing where I'm like, dude, I bite so hard, so it's like painful.
Yeah.
And then I would say the only bad part about that was I was like, I wish I knew more to be able to like talk to him more, you know, like I wish I had more experience, and it's like, it's always the same thing, especially when people mention locations. Once they mention anything like, oh, I went to Southside, Riverside or something like near fucking the Grand Canyon, you know?
Yeah. The JMT.
Yeah. And I'm like, I clock out so quick. I'm like, I don't know where you're at. And I never even tried to learn.
Yeah.
You know,
I know. You didn't even try to relate. I noticed. You're just like, oh. Cool.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't even say like, oh, where is that, south, north?
Or like, I don't know where it is. You don't even say you don't know. You're just like, okay.
Yeah. So that gets me kind of frustrated, but I'm also like, I'm young, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it's like when we listen to like podcasts and we're like, I wish I was like that. It's like, dude, they've like 10 years older than us.
Yeah.
You know? They're going to experience so much more. And then I felt really good. I was just laying down. I think I ended up laying down and just closing my eyes, I think, at one point.
The moment that I went over there was because he started talking about Reno. And he was like... He's like, yeah, I went to Reno like in last summer or something. He was like, that place fucking sucks or something like that. And we went to Reno and we loved it. And so I went over. I was like, yeah, I went to Reno. I was like, we went in the winter though, and it was really cool. I liked it a lot.
Imagine we're like just chilling right there, tripping, and he just says like some crazy ass shit. Like he's like, yeah, man. I mean, my daughter just died from stage 3 cancer, and my wife's leaving me. And I just found out I had a tumor last week.
He's like, I really need a place to stay tonight. Can I stay with you guys?
Yeah, it's like the worst possible. Like, oh my god. Do you guys have like any?
He's like, yeah, I was doing 70 miles on the John Muir trail, and
he's like, what? He just goes crazy.
He's like, he's like,
Jerry,
I always do this breathing ritual when I get to the top of my hikes. You guys mind if I do it?
This makes my skin. He's like, I can't swim. Oh my god, I'm gonna fall down the fucking water. Help! Oh god! Oh my god, I'm allergic.
Oh god! Ow!
Ow!
I broke my fucking ankle.
I know, like, just imagine, it just gives you the worst fucking, yeah, like something hella invasive, like, dude, guys, like, you guys are young, like, do you guys have a place to stay, or like, can I please?
But she's like, you guys gotta do something with your lives.
Yeah, he starts like,
Podcast.
oh my god, he gives us like the lecture.
What's all this podcast about? I know, dude, that'd be the worst.
I'd be like,
If he was
shut
like,
the
you
fuck
guys
up.
are still young, you guys can still turn around.
It's not too late to like hit the gym and like,
One thing I beg, please change your hairstyle.
Yeah. He just starts flaming us like, dude, you're hella chubby. Did you know that? What?
You're hella chunky.
You have a lisp, Chris?
Oh, they go like this?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And Noel the whole time was fucking,
Dude, Noel was fucked.
yeah.
In a good way. But, like,
I hope.
he was, like, laying in this, like, crevice. Like, the rocks kind of came together in, like, a V shape, like a long V. And he was just laying in it for, like, 30 minutes.
Yeah, with a
or
towel.
more. With a towel on him, like a blanket, like, wrapped around him. He was just, like...
The whole time.
And at the end, I started to get a little worried, and then I saw him, like, he literally opened his eyes for a second, and he looked at me, and I was like, you're good.
Yeah.
Like, just the way his eyes looked, it's like, you're happy, I could tell.
And you could, like, he almost looked like, careful with your mic. Just maybe turn it down a little bit. You think that's okay?
Yeah. I'll turn it down a little bit.
Just a touch. You could tell, he had, like, that look of, like, just waking up. Like,
Yeah.
like, damn, he took a nap, or I don't know what you were doing, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
But,
He was like, I feel drunk.
yeah, he looked drunk.
Yeah,
And I think we all looked drunk,
probably.
which I didn't give a shit. Oh, one other thing I
Didn't give a
remember.
shit.
So I was super calm in the water, especially speaking to the guy and just having a conversation with him. Where, like, I wasn't really focused on the cold at all, which was nice, right?
Yeah, you said you forgot you were in there, right?
I forgot I was in there, guys. I was fucking submerged, like, hip deep, sitting down, and I forgot I was in the water,
That's
which was
nuts.
nuts. And then I remember thinking, like, some good stuff, like appreciation stuff, because, like, it's like with Andrew. It's like, like, you always say, like, that guy or Andrew runs 8 miles, or
Yeah.
Andrew fucking does shrooms, or Andrew, like good stuff, like, he fucking works remote and takes walks on his breaks. Like that's sick. Like, all
Yeah.
really nice stuff. And same with yourself, almost, where you're like, yeah, I go and I do jiu-jitsu, and then I go and I I still hang out with my friends, like stuff like
Yeah.
this, And I just remember being like, I feel like for me at the time, I was like, I disconnect from myself from what I'm doing, and I don't realize like it's not like I'm talking in third person, like I am doing this,
Yeah.
So I remember being in the water, and I'm in this cold water, no one else is in it, and like, it was, like a flex for me, like I'm like, for myself, like
Yeah.
wow, you could do this, and you wanted to do this, and like there's no pressure to do this or anything,
Yeah.
and you're doing it just fine, like you're not, no one's having to convince you, and you're not panicking or whatever. And I remember being like, you are like your actions, but like it's you, like it's not
Yeah.
like Jaime does this, it's like you do this,
Yeah.
I remember thinking that was so cool at the time, like just being like not because you just tell people like, hey, I take cold showers, hey, I whatever, but it's like you gotta really think like you do this, like so I thought it was really nice to be like appreciate like that you're like you're you, and like the small
Nice.
or big things that you do is like that's you, it's kind of hard to
Yeah.
have that concept, like of really like you're yourself in first person, but like it was cool to like kind of like think about that when I was in Shrooms.
It's nice, man. It's like self-love, I feel like.
Yeah,
Just
like,
really
wow.
appreciating shit.
Yeah,
I feel
exactly.
like I've been on that a little bit more lately, just like really appreciating the very simple things. Like I started running a little more lately. like a few times a week, and it's just so fucking nice. Like, just moving your body alone. I'm like, this feels so good right now. Like, just to get out, change of environment, just out in the open. My mind could just go anywhere. Like, my body, everything's all in sync. It's just so nice. And like, add a nice sunset to that. It's like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was nice because that kind of carried over to like when we were tripping. I was like, I've just been in that kind of nice place, you know, for the most part. So it was good, man. You're seeing, because when we were sitting on that lookout thing, you were saying you were still kind of seeing like a little bit of like visuals and shit, huh?
Real quick, before even that, so I got to the point where when you guys were talking, I remember, I was laying down, right?
When I was talking to the guy?
Yeah. Or after, but I was just laying down.
Yeah.
And I was just looking up, and there's tall trees kind of all surrounded us. Great.
Yeah.
And then, like, dude, it was just moving. Like, everything was just moving and morphing. Like, and it's like, I don't have glasses, so nothing specific.
I can't believe he saw that much.
Noel,
too, didn't you see a lot?
I haven't talked to him really much about his experience yet.
I feel like he didn't say he was seeing a lot of shit.
His eyes were fucking closed most of the time. So.
I remember one thing that was funny is right when we sat by that water, we like just sat down by the little like river. And I remember you were like, is the water soapy?
Yeah.
I was like, do you mean like foam? Like
yeah,
bubbly?
I remember. Yeah, you thought
and
that.
you're like, no, like rainbowy. And I was like, oh, like when you have like oil on water and it's like.
Did you see that too, right? A little bit?
No, but I remember telling Andrew, I was like, Jaime said it looks soapy, and he's like, I see it. He's like, I kind of see it like right there, and it was where you were pointing.
I think it's because the rocks are. Oh, dude, I remember like because I was sitting in the water and the rocks were like orange, very bright.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is fucking great. You know, like this is so cool. Like what the hell, you know?
This is fucking great.
And I think that's why it also looked soapy is like in the water there was colored rocks.
Yeah.
Or like the whole rock was colored. Anyways, I saw the morphing trees and that was kind of a trip because like that's I think like one of the most common visuals you see like portrayed is that the trees are like breathing and all that stuff. You know, so I remember just being like, wow, this is cool. You know, I don't feel threatened.
Yeah.
And I don't have my glasses, so it's kind of vague. You know, everything's kind of vague. And then I remember I was getting a little scared again because I had a poo. I was like, fuck. And then it was cold. So I was a little scared. I mean, they were just always scared. I was just like, fuck. Like, I don't know. What if it just... I remember how I realized at one point, like, how much I was tripping.
Like,
I was like, this is strong. No, like, this, like, just how strong it was. I was like, holy shit, this is strong. It wasn't a light trip, you know? So I was like, this is intense. I was like, I wonder how long it's going to last, you know?
Yeah.
Hopefully not too long. Because, you know, like... I just, you know, I
feel like that's dangerous when you get there, when you want it to end, because that's how I get with weed. I'll get too high, and then I'll be like, I want to come down. And then once I start thinking that, the rest of my high is just not fucking fun. Exactly. Because you're only wanting it to stop, and it's like, you got to just enjoy it.
Luckily, dude, like I said, I was just talking with you guys. I never really had too much inner dialogue, and like,
that's good.
Just time went by, you know, in the best ways. And I don't even know how long we were there for, but like, anytime I was kind of starting to get a little concerned or maybe in a slight rabbit hole, it's like I got distracted. And I was like, okay, we're like living in the moment and laughing and stuff. And then, like Chris said, we kind of packed our stuff up and left. And we went and looked over like the overpass. Is that
the waterfall? Or
just like over the hill. That was really fun. I remember still feeling like pretty trippy. Like Chris said too, I don't think I really even felt like the presence of anyone, even though there was a bunch of people around us.
Yeah,
like,
right.
You know, and me and our friends were used to like isolated hikes.
Like nobody around.
So,
at all.
You know, this was our first time not first time, but like in a while where it's like you're kind of surrounded by a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it would be it wouldn't be far-fetched to be like almost super aware of it.
Yeah.
Because it was like, holy shit, there's hella people and I'm so not used to it.
Yeah.
And you would think that happened in the Shroom trip, but it didn't, you know?
Yeah.
I think only a couple times where I was like really laughing hard. I was like, well, I was like,
dude, there's this fucking guy that had so much sunscreen on.
Here's
like,
a picture. Put a picture.
Please send that to me. This guy had so much fucking sunscreen on. And it was so cloudy and it was raining. And he had a fucking sun hat on, and his face was covered. Like, his whole face was just white.
And especially, like, right here, which was, like, the funniest part.
Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, like, you better have, like, a, you know.
A condition or something, right?
Like, what are you doing, you know?
Yeah, goofy ass.
And, like Chris said, I'm pretty scared of heights. Like, especially, like, your body, right? Like, you kind of start walking towards the edge, and you feel in your stomach,
you get kind of
legs.
Weak almost.
Yeah, like, you're like, you want to fall to the floor.
Yeah.
You know? And I remember not feeling it like that much there. Like, and I like just the depth perception wasn't like crazy there too, you know? Like it looked far, but at the same time, it wasn't like I'm going to fall off this cliff.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, it's there. I wasn't too scared, especially because Andrew and Chris were more in front of me, so I felt like this more safer one. Like, I'm good if I'm not there.
You guys kept getting all pissed at me because I'd like dangle my legs
yeah,
off
like,
a
what
little
the
bit.
fuck are you doing? Because I just remember thinking, like, you fall, it's over, you know?
Done.
Like, you're done.
You're done.
Well, unless
You're done.
you grab on a rock.
People die there a lot, like pretty frequently, I
Probably
think,
like,
because
10
they
a
fall
year?
off the waterfalls. I think so, probably, or 5. I don't know,
Just,
but
like,
I hear about it
imagine.
like multiple times in my life. My mom's been like, "Oh yeah, somebody died there," you know. So
So
it gets
tragic.
real. Like you think it's not, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you joke around
because everybody's
until, like,
there
it's
and
not.
shit, and you're like, "Oh, it's pretty safe," but like it's not, bro.
Yeah, it's
You
like
know?
it's safe until it's not. I'm right telling
Yeah.
Chris, like, it's funny until it isn't. And then, I
Yeah.
was looking at the mountain, and it was like, it was sick. So this mountain almost looked like a cove. So like when it's like, you know, it's kind of like it's almost like a bird's beak coming out of the mountain. So it's like,
I don't know if that's a cove, but yeah,
okay, I don't know.
I think a cove's like an indent, kind of like a little cave. Almost.
Okay, so like a smoothed out triangle,
Okay.
and like that was kind of the shape, but it was like still a whole mountain.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that shape was like almost like coming out.
Oh,
And
wow.
it was like getting outlined.
Oh shit.
You know, and I was just like, that is fucking nuts. Like, it was so cool. I was like, what the hell is
Yeah.
that? You know?
Fuck, I wish I seen that.
And then, it was really nice. We were there for a while too, just chilling,
Yeah.
talking, shooting the shit. And then anything do you want to say about that before we get to the waterfall?
I don't think so. Mm.
Got to the waterfall. By then I was pretty done. Like,
Yeah.
I was for sure like, I'm coming down. Like,
Yeah.
the whole time I was coming down too was great. It was like a great come down. I was like,
Kind of short, honestly. Like, probably like an hour and a half, maybe.
no.
You think it's
I
longer
think I like 3 or 4 hours.
of your whole duration of it?
I think from getting to the creek to leaving was like 3 or 4 hours.
No, the fuck, it was not.
Yes.
Really?
Uh,
I think like 2 hours max of like getting to the creek, looking over the outlook thing, going to the waterfall, and then going back down.
maybe 2 hours, maybe 2-ish.
Yeah, I think so.
it was a long
Maybe I'm
time,
tripping.
though.
I don't know. I don't have the best time perception
Yeah,
when
I
I'm
don't even know.
under the influence.
I remember getting to the waterfall was cool as whatever. I was like, I kind of wanted to go down though. I was like, especially Angel, like,
Yeah,
okay, I wanna
it's
go down.
separated.
Yeah, and then we ran down. That was fun, but dude, I was just like just so much mental challenge because it's like you're going down, man. It's great, especially in the beginning. It was like so easy. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, we're moving, all of us.
Yeah,
I was leading that hoe for a while,
yeah,
and then it just got to points where it was like painful. I was just like,
Yeah.
because it's so hard on your knees. Like you're just going down this
and your
steep
hamstring
mountain.
because you're just trying to stop yourself for like so long.
And it's very
forever.
uneasy. Like,
Mhm.
you know, it's
Hella
not as smooth.
rocks.
It's just all over the place.
Yeah.
And it was just a lot of like funny stuff in my head. Just like,
One thing you said that was so fucking funny. You were like, there's hella people on this trail, and like nobody's running. It's just us. Like we're passing all these people, which I didn't give a fuck at the time. But I was like, can't wait till these people fucking pass me up like later down the trail with a fucking shattered leg.
yeah, because we had to like pass them and then we just start booking it, right?
Yeah.
And then I just remember thinking like, bro, we've passed like so many groups. That'd be so funny if I just like somehow fucking snap my ankle back and I'm just sitting there and they're just passing me and like, you're a fucking idiot. Because I'm
Yeah.
not a pro or anything.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I do this for a living, you know?
Yeah.
It was like, it's such a high probability that I just,
Fuck
you
your
know?
shit up. Yeah.
But yeah, it was funny because I got to this point where, you know, Chris and Andrew passed me and Noel because I was like fucking dead. And then I was like, I got to get to them, you know?
yeah.
So I just started going. And then I finally, after a while, got to see Noel. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm passing y'all up like one at a time. I passed them and I forgot what I said. I said something like a smart ass comment, you know? And then it was like, I was behind you guys for a while. Like, you guys would go and then I'd catch up and you guys go.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember thinking like, if this was like, I could see why David Goggins find this so addicting. Because I was saying,
He's taking people's souls.
yeah, I was saying like, I remember I got to the point where like I caught up to Andrew and Chris and they could see me and they both turned around and then they just both started running. And I was like, oh my God, it's addicting. Like, you're just getting a reaction off of someone just from
Yeah.
your presence is like, it's like lights a fire, you know? But then it's
Yeah.
also like my fire isn't big enough to pass the heat or to pass the pain. So I was like, I
Yeah.
would just slow down. But
Yeah.
it's addicting,
You
you
were
know?
right behind us when we finished because me and Andrew were in the front, like hauling ass.
And then, well, then
We
Noel,
walked for a long ass time though because we were behind this guy that just would not fucking move. Like would not move, and I'm like right on his ass.
I just say, I would be like, excuse me, after like maybe 5 seconds, because they usually
Yeah,
get the
I
gist.
just feel bad being like move because it's a hard hike, you know. So I feel bad to like even inconvenience them at all,
Yeah.
you know.
But then I was walking for a while because I was tired, and then a fucking Noel comes. I was like, damn, he's determined, you know?
Yeah.
And I just started running too. And he ended up passing me, but we were like I was like behind him by maybe 5 seconds, you know? And then the only other thing I would think of is that one, it was really painful. Like I told Chris at one point, so I was like almost teary-eyed because it was like my ankles, my knees, like I just couldn't even get like a firm step anymore, dude. It was just so like I
tweaked my
weak.
ankle a tiny bit. Like I think I landed with it open kind of, and I was like like it hurt. And then every once in a while I'd step that way and be like, oh.
I just remember just feeling so weak that I was like, dude, if I step wrong, it's fucked. And then I remember seeing
one fall is gonna fuck you up because it's rocky. Like there's so many sharp jagged rocks and shit.
Like you're not falling into nice little cushion. You're falling into like death.
Yeah.
And then I remember seeing like we saw like a child that was like she was like really thin, but she was like 10 or 12. Like she should have a little more meat. I think she's just kind of like skinnier like naturally, and she was hiking this shit up. Then I saw mom breastfeeding. Yeah. She was hiking out, and I was like, God, you can do this. You know, I was like, bro, you're 22. Like you're well bodied. Let's do this. You know. So that's cool. Just getting motivation. We got down there. Then we like still jogged for like maybe another 2-3 minutes into this river spot. That was so nice,
dude. Yeah, we cold plunged at the bottom again. It was fucking, dude. That was great. This is a great way to end it. I was like, wow.
I was just like, I'm done. I don't have to walk. My feet are in so much pain. My legs are in so much pain. Like, just go in the water and chill and swim, and it's nice.
We went to this like they have this little like cafeteria place in like the Yosemite Valley right there. And Andrew kept saying like, "Oh, banging ass sandwiches there."
Bro, banging. He was hyping that.
And we don't fucking take L's when we go out to eat after hikes. Like we eat so fucking good on the way home, and we're like, "All right, fuck it, let's." We've never
missed.
Place,
I don't think we've ever missed.
We're like, let's try this place. Maybe with the El Jardín places. This is like these Mexican places in the mountains, and they're not good.
You know what's crazy
Mexican,
too? Is like,
it's all white people there.
I fucking knew it too. You saw my hesitancy.
Yeah, you didn't want to order there. You want to get something else.
Immediately, and like, I just knew, but I was like, I don't want to be the guy that's like, let's go to. Like, we're already tired. Let's just go to the place.
It'd have been such a long day, man. Yeah, and then I think we were kind of hesitant. Andrew, of course, was like straight up like, oh, he's in there like swimmer, you know, getting his salmon whatever sandwich.
Yeah, no hesitancy.
And we looked at it and we're like, it looks kind of good. And then we got our sandwiches and like they were so mid.
Yeah, they were good. Like they were good, but they didn't have like thickness to it. The bread wasn't. The girl was making it quick. No hot sandwiches either. No, not toasted. And it wasn't thick. There wasn't a crazy ass like fries or side. It was just like the fucking sandwich and slap it on you. You know?
Yeah.
Like a fucking like it's tuna. You know?
Absolutely.
And but
I was in the moment though. I didn't really give a shit. I was like, it's just been a long day. I just want to eat and go home.
I got sun chips and that added so much to the sandwich.
My ice cream sandwich. God, we both got ice cream sandwiches. But Hammy forgot to eat his. It got all melted and shit. Also, you took a shit, so. For a while.
That was so nice, dude, because it was nice bathrooms.
Bro, you said the bathrooms are so nice. And then me and Noel went in there later, and Noel was like, there's nothing nice about these bathrooms.
It's good.
And he was like, look at this stall. And the toilet was like pretty disgusting.
It was probably the one I used.
Shit all over it.
Was it to the right or left?
It was all the way against like the far wall, like from the door. Yeah.
Oh, no, use that
you went in the other one?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where I was.
Dude, I fucking wish I recorded when I went to take a shit.
Why?
So I went in there, dude. I farted for like 5 seconds, like the longest, and then I just shat. But it was like blah, 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 blah. Like, you know that one where it just keeps like
pebbles,
blah, 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 blah. It was like chunky, like dude, it was so funny, the noise. I was like, I wish someone was in here with me, you know?
Do you ever want to laugh when you go to the bathroom and you hear someone farting like on the toilet?
Yeah.
Or you're not that childish?
I remember thinking like yeah, especially when it's like groans or a big fart. I'm just like, oh man. But
it's hard for me
I love now that I'm at the age where I just shit like no matter what's in there.
You don't care, huh? Like, someone's in there, you're still like
yeah, I'm like even more just like, we're good, bro. Like, it's me and you in here. This is a bathroom. Like, we're not
we this together.
Yeah, and I just let out a shit. Like hard, good fart one, you know, a good fat one.
I think I'm still probably a little insecure, but I think I'm way less than I would have been like a few years ago.
And I think at work is only the time that's a little bit harder. I still do it because it's all grown ass men. Fucking, they don't give a shit. They're like, yeah, and but I know that they could recognize me because usually when I shit, I have Crocs because I'm like at the end of the day.
Yeah, you're the only one with fucking lime green or mint Crocs.
Yeah, so it's a little more scary, but yeah. And then we went
you put your Crocs on to shit.
Well, like I'm at the end of the day, so I put like I do as much as I can on the clock. So I go to my car, I turn on my car, put on my Crocs on, then I go shit, and then I clock out. You know?
Yeah, I love that, dude. I love that. Oh, that's so good. Anyways, anything else to add about that?
Well, I think I'm a vegetarian now.
Are you gonna do it?
So yeah, I think I'm gonna start shopping in the organic section from now on.
I've already been on that wave, brother.
Goddamn right.
Do you think you'll do it again? And if so, how soon?
Okay, so I want to say no, just because it was a lot. I mean, it's pretty exhausting.
Yeah.
It was a little like I think it was like, it was all good, but I'm saying probability of it going bad was like 70-30, 80-20.
Yeah.
Like I just, was scared.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you had any kind of like moments of
I mean,
like,
it was good. It was just like small little battles. Where
Yeah.
I'm like, God,
Yeah.
And, but the only reason I want to do it again is one, I came out almost the same way I came in.
Yeah.
Which I thought, I
Yeah,
mean, who
nothing
knows? Maybe
changed
subconsciously,
for me, at least I don't
maybe
think.
subconsciously, who knows, or small things. But like, I mean, now I know, I did shrooms. It was something I wanted to accomplish.
Yeah.
Being able to do it again. And, but I came out the same way I came in. It was just an experience. So it's kind of like nice to be like, oh, maybe if I just want an experience, but I don't want to be fucking changed for life.
I think I always thought that it would like change me, like at least a little bit in some way, not like in a bad way, but just that like I'd have some slightly different like outlook on some things, which I don't think really anything changed. You know?
No, I think it was just the experience, which is great.
Again, I also just like took the small amount, so I'm like, I don't know if I'm more powerful. I'm sure a more powerful trip might leave me with a little bit more,
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of scared now for you too, because it's like if you have like a kind of a good one, it's like, wow, the next, like, I don't know, I just feel like you have to have a bad trip to know.
Yeah, right.
That's inevitable. But then it's also like, if you have a bad trip, now you always know. It's kind of a double-edged sword, Like you always know where it can lead.
I think I would do it again. I would definitely don't want to do it like anytime soon though. Like for sure, like 6 months or so.
Yeah.
Like a while, I'm chilling. But
I would be like maybe in a calendar year or something.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason also I was saying maybe I want to do it again. Jeez, I think I'm cut up. Is that
you're so slouched?
Is that
your side profile with the fucking thing on your head?
Like I said, there were so many factors that could be a little bit better.
Yeah.
Like if I was closer to a bathroom.
Okay.
Because I remember thinking if I'm fucked up, like if I get bad trip, I'm so fucking far from comfort. I'm the fucking tip of a mountain.
Yeah.
Like I'm fucked for the hour if I'm fucked. You know. I wish it was warmer. I wish all my friends were there. Everyone like the whole group together. Like I think there's just so many variables. Like if I could do good here, I know with just a couple of twinks. Is that the word?
Tweaks? Yeah.
Twinks.
Twinks is like a gay category.
Oh my god! I did a couple tweaks.
A couple tweaks never hurt anybody.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, I'll take that too. That I could even have like a better trip.
Yeah.
Maybe that's me being selfish and that's human nature,
Yeah, wanting more always.
Yeah.
You get an inch, you want a mile.
What was it?
I didn't understand that saying that you were saying.
You eat more than you desire, but less than you deserve. How do you fucking not get that?
Wait, you didn't say that. I swear to God in the video.
Yes.
I'll put it right here.
We eat more than we desire and less than we deserve. Huh? I'll finish you off with that.
You said something. Like you mixed that up, I think.
You eat more than you desire and less than you deserve.
No, you did say that, I think, actually.
Yeah.
But what does that mean? Can you describe that to me? More than you desire. So, like, you wanted to eat a certain amount. Of course, you went over that.
Oh, wait. You eat less than you desire and more than you deserve. That makes more sense.
I think so.
But I think I said that too.
No, I think you said the first way.
I hope not, because I practiced that.
Less than you desire.
So like you always want more, so you ate less than you desire, but whatever you got is
more than
you deserve. More than you deserve. Like you're grateful.
Okay. I'm trying to remember that.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, not bad.
It's kind of like kind of puts you down, but
a little bit.
Like it's more of an insult to someone.
Yeah.
You greedy bastard.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah. I mean, maybe I'll take it again, but I feel good. I know now that I'm not having such a strong, conviction to not do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a little bit more easier to persuade me.
Yeah.
To be like, oh yeah, this is good. So I want to be hesitant about that and aware about that.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that I'm relaxed and I won't do it for a while.
I think I'd want to do it like this, almost like at the same, like to mimic that scenario again. Like everybody does it. I don't know. I feel like if it's just a few of us, like I'd not be as inclined. Like the fact that we all did it was like perfect.
Yeah, I think everyone on the same boat.
It just has to be in nature again, like hiking situation, because that's when I'm the most at peace. I'm just not thinking about anything else. I'm just in the moment and no inner voice really.
Yeah.
So I think that was like perfect situation, and that's how it'd have to be.
Honestly, like a cabin and taking it there and going for a far walk would be nice.
That'd be
Because
good.
it's like,
yeah.
we're in nature. I'm sure there's going to be a river or something close by or just good views. If I need to go back for some reason, I could go walk back to the cabin.
Yeah.
Or after we're done, I could sleep. You know, stuff like that. But then I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I underestimate how trippy it is to go back into closed doors when you're
See,
shrooming.
that's what worries me. Because
like,
I feel like when I'm in closed doors, I can't relax, for one. I'm always like, I should be doing something. On vacation, probably be different, though, if we were at a cabin. Because, like, I'm just
it's
chilling.
just more a trapping feeling.
But, yeah, and it's like, I just think more when I'm sitting here and not doing anything.
Yeah.
If
And
I'm
like I
doing
said,
something,
it's hard to visualize all this trippy shit when you're in nature. But when you're inside, it's like everything is that's different. You'll notice.
It's built by humans, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's that. I remember thinking, too, like, when I was debating on taking them that morning, I remember thinking about all the shit that's, like, not right in my life, you know, that could potentially, like, set me off. And it's just like, man, it's never going to be perfect. Like, I don't think it's ever going to be fucking completely ideal.
And I think we're both pretty good right now.
Yeah. Pretty
like,
decent.
where we're at, you know?
Yeah. On that note, I want to tell you, I got a therapist.
Yeah?
Finally.
Can I tell you something?
Did you get one, too?
No.
Oh.
He's accidentally told me.
Yeah, I was like, why are you not surprised?
Yeah, I know.
How'd she tell you?
I don't know.
I didn't tell her. It's supposed to be a secret.
Yeah, she's like,
So that's
oh my God,
probably
no
why.
way. Because she told me.
And you were like,
And I was like, I think that was a secret.
like,
no,
you bitch. 'Cause
that's-
we were talking to the group chat, and I would have said it in there, but I was like, I don't want him to know yet. You
sorry,
fuck.
but
You fucker. God damn it.
I'm so proud of you, man.
Did you hear me say that? Because earlier I was like,
Yeah, I have something
I was like,
important
oh, I
wanna
have
talk
something
about.
to tell you. Did you
Yeah, I
think
know
that?
about
You fucking bitch. You fucker.
Look at you.
Oh, that was nice. But yeah, I don't know. I wanted to do that for like, I was thinking about it. I was like, I think it's been like 2+ years that I've talked about this and not fucking done it. And like, I would always be so disappointed at that, you know? And then it just goes through like, you go through stages where you're like, oh, I'm fine right now. Like, why do I need a therapist? And then you get down bad, like you always do, and then you're like, I fucking need it so bad, and then you get out of that, and you're like, I'm fine.
Yeah,
you know,
maybe
it's
just
like,
wait a little bit.
Exactly, it's a vicious cycle, and I was like, I just got to a point where I was so fed up with it, and me putting it off, you know. And also, like, it's kind of like a stressful event that I won't go into, but like, I was stressing really hard on something, like at the end of last week, and that's when I did it, and that was just like the last straw. I was like, fuck this, dude. And like that day I was like, I'm doing this, and I fucking did it. Like,
So what'd you do? So people know what to do and how to do.
So I am under my dad's insurance, which he has like really banging ass insurance. So I always like wanted to use his insurance because therapy is obviously like pretty expensive, you know. But every time I would look, like, you just have to look on this like website, and like the website just looks kind of shitty. And
His insurance
it just gives you like random ass like therapists, and I don't know. I would just get overwhelmed by that, and like you have to call them, and like I don't know.
Welcoming.
It's just a lot. Yeah, exactly. And I was just like So every time it was kind of a deterrent because I looked at that like a few times, and every time I was just like, I don't know about any of these people. I don't know. And then I always hear about BetterHelp, which is what I ended up using.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I always
Did you use code Sanagato?
No, which I'll get to that.
Okay.
So I always hear about BetterHelp because they sponsor a lot of podcasts and stuff. And I was like, it always sounds really appealing because like they talk about how easy it is to switch therapists, like, which kind of is a big thing apparently in therapy. I had my first session on Friday, so I haven't done it yet, but yeah, I have my therapist, which is cool. But yeah, there's just a lot of pros I think to it potentially. Which one is you could switch therapists very seamlessly. I don't even think you have to like tell them. You just get a new one, and like, you know, very Gen Z of us to not have to confront somebody. Yeah. But I'm like, that seems nice. And then just really convenient. They say the price is pretty good, which I had looked before, like in the past. I was like, damn, it's pretty expensive. It's $65 a week, which amounts to like 200. And can you do that math for me?
What is it? 65?
Yeah. 6 times 4, 240.
260?
Yeah, $260 a month, which is kind of a lot because you don't use insurance for that, you know? So I was like, fuck. But I was also like in such a position where I was so fed up with myself. I was like, I'm just going to fucking force myself to do this.
And
like,
then if you can't,
it,
maybe
you know?
just to start, and then if you can't afford
exactly.
it,
and then go to insurance or something
else.
You know? So yeah, there's that. And then also they have you fill out like a not a crazy long like thing, but you check a lot of boxes like saying what you look for, and like therapists, like, do I want male or female?
What'd
Do
you
I
pick?
want someone am I spiritual? Do I have anxiety? Do I have like sexual issues? Like all this stuff, like all these things. I picked female.
Nice.
I feel like I'm just more comfortable with females, especially like being vulnerable and stuff, and grew up
Ask
around
about your
women and all
height?
that. No, maybe I don't remember, but yeah, I don't know, man. It just seemed really like inviting and a lot of pros, so I went with that.
Seems very convenient. User friendly.
I made my account, right? And they always give these discount codes in the podcasts, and it's like 15%. I'm like, that's not bad, you know? I made my account, and I was like, I didn't see a spot to put the promo code, and I'm already paying. They're like agreeing to the payment plan. I was like, what the fuck? And then I asked them, I emailed like their whatever customer service, and I was like asking where to put the discount code. And they were like, oh,
shove
like,
it in your fucking
unfortunately-
ass.
bitch. They're like, unfortunately, once you make your account, you can't put the discount code anymore, you know? And I was like, fuck. But they have this thing on there called financial aid. Like, you could apply for financial aid, which it's not actually like financial aid, but it's just like, if you can prove you're like poor enough, they give you a discount, basically, you know?
Yes.
And it's a really quick and easy thing. Like, it's so quick. And I was
You
like,
gotta
nice.
put your like family stuff.
And of
or
course,
what?
like, I'm broke as shit. So, just my household, which is me and my sister. And I got like 15% off from that, which actually is not that much cheaper.
Like $20.
At least $10 a week off, so it's like $55 a week. And then that guy, when I emailed them to ask about the discount code from the podcast, he was like, you can apply for financial aid, which I'd already done, got 50%. And he's like, once you do that, reach out to me because I can probably give you a further discount. I was like, interesting. So I asked him, and he ended up giving me 40% off.
What the fuck?
Crazy,
For how long?
right? Forever? I think I have to read it. There might have been some fine print there, but it's definitely for like 6 months at least or something. Like, it's for a while.
Holy
you
shit.
know? So I was like, wow. And I did the math, and that's like, I mean, it's almost half off, you know? That brings it from like 260 to like
150.
150-ish. I was like, dude, that's fucking amazing.
So there's no
I'm
your
really hyped
insurance
on
didn't
that.
help anything?
You can't, I don't think you use insurance for BetterHelp.
Okay.
It's just like an out-of-pocket cheap kind of thing. So yeah, man.
So then you got your therapist?
I did. I was gonna say her name, but I don't know if I should say it. But
Yeah, no. Well, can you say it to me and then
Lady.
believe it?
yeah, her name's.
Doctor? That?
I don't remember, but I did read like her whole bio, and I was pretty content with it. She's been doing it for a long time. I think like 20 something years.
Nice. Experience is definitely
Yeah.
nice.
She said she's a Reiki instructor. You know what that is? Reiki something.
Reiki?
Reiki. I'm
Like
gonna
when
look
the
it up.
leaves are on your lawn?
No. It's like some kind of spiritual thing, I think. Let me see. Reiki. I think she's from Colorado, too. Reiki healing. Okay, hold on. Ah, you fucking bitch. I had the definition and took it away from me. It says... Hold on, guys. Every time.
Every fucking time.
What is Reiki? Okay, there it is. Reiki is an energy healing technique in which a Reiki master who has undergone formal training in this healing art uses gentle hand movements with the intention to guide the flow of healthy energy, what's known in Reiki as life force energy, through the client's body to reduce stress and promote healing. So it's kind of like massage almost, I think, like pressure points kind of thing, which benefits me in no way.
Yeah, because you're virtual.
Yeah.
You're-
I think with my plan, though, I get
Remote.
like you have one live session a week, which I'm hyped about because,
Well, you're doing it live?
well, live, but it's on the computer, like
Oh.
Skype, kind of
Yeah, yeah.
FaceTime, whatever. But pretty hyped because I know some people do it like, once every 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something. I'm like, I wanted it pretty consistent, so I
Yeah.
could keep like updating and shit.
Yeah, it's going to be a commitment.
Yeah, it is because you have to schedule it every week. And even this first week, I was like, fuck. Like, I was almost
Yeah.
not able to like schedule it. I was like, I had to push it all the way out to Friday, but yeah, man. I'm a little nervous,
Yeah,
which
how
I
do you
didn't
feel?
think.
What's going on?
I didn't think I'd be nervous whatsoever because I obviously like I spill everything on this fucking podcast. Like I don't give a shit, and like our friends, and I'm pretty open book, But I think it's just the fact that it's like a stranger and like I'm talking to you. Like I'm not talking to a fucking camera and then I don't know who sees it really. It's like I'm talking to you and I'm just like, are you gonna judge me? Or like I know that like some of our views aren't gonna align and that's just part of it. Like
That's interesting because they have to accept you.
yeah, like I took a counseling class at when I was in college at Stan.
Yeah, maybe you could try to help her.
Where you
Just start flipping things. So what got you into this Reiki?
It's just Reiki bullshit.
Show me how the fuck does this Reiki wake? Is it really the fakey or what?
Nice. But that was one of the big things we learned is like you have to put your opinions and shit aside and like as a counselor and stuff. So I feel comfortable in that, but still it's like human nature, I think, to be like, am I gonna be judged, you know, or like what is she thinking right now and stuff. And she's been giving me feedback. Like that's the crazy thing, because I know it's gonna be a lot different than just venting to you or like my family, like because you
I'm
guys
pretty close to like a therapist, I feel like. Damn near.
It's debatable, you know?
I think I give honestly I think everything I say is great.
With Jaime's Law, it's like, you know,
it's
sometimes you don't even need words.
You just action. It's gonna be interesting because it's like, I mean, I think we always say like therapist is great, and overall it is, but I don't think then you realize like once you're actually in it, it's like it's not great. It's not like just great. It's not like you walk in there and then you walk out and you're like, I'm great, and I just walk in there and they spray me with something that makes me feel good. It's like this shit takes work,
and you gotta work.
It's not gonna be linear, you know.
Exactly.
And like there's gonna be shit that like, damn, like actions that you do that you're gonna maybe have to change.
And there's shit that I already know, like I probably won't want to tell her. You know?
You don't want to change,
or just like I'm ashamed of it, and I'm like, only a few people know that, you know, and it's like.
Well, you'll build up to it, you know. I mean, your first session, you're not gonna fucking spill your guts.
I think they ease you into it. But that's something I want to prepare for, because I know, like, for my class also, like the first session or first few is like kind of setting goals and like your intentions and like, and I'm like, fuck, because I know I have a lot, but I think I need to like write it down and kind of journal to figure out exactly like what I want to tell her. Like, I want to work on this. I want to work on that. You know, because in my head I'm just like, I'm anxious. Let me try to name a few right now. I'm anxious. A lot. I think my reaction to so many things is anxiety. It's really hard for me to deal with change or like spontaneous changes. Like I get very like I don't like it, you know? I think the San Diego move is a big one where I'm like I'm really sad and I want to be really like prepared for that when it comes. Like have done the work to be like, okay, this is something I want, and yeah, I'm sad, but like, you know, be able to handle that. I think I want to be like less simpy. I think we have a problem with that kind of, you know, just kind of be a little more happy like with myself, you know, and like just really content with just being me, you know, not needing other people or things. Damn it. See, I'm blanking right now. Like I was thinking of so much shit earlier that I wanted to say, but I don't know, you know, but there's just so much. There's a lot of shit from like, I think growing up that I like haven't totally addressed, you know?
Yeah.
And like just worries I have regarding that stuff still, that it bothers me a lot. Just anxiety a lot. Changing my habits too. Like one of my habits that I fucking hate is like, I'll be tired as shit and I'll still go to bed late. Like I'll push it all the way until I'm like, I'm about to get exactly like 7 hours of sleep. And I'm like, this is fucking stupid. Like as soon as I'm tired, I should fucking settle down and go to sleep, you know?
If anything, you wake up early.
I'm always leaving late to work. Fucking not even enough time to get there. I know it takes me like 20 minutes and I fucking leave with like 15 every time. And I'm like, well, maybe if I hit all the lights good, you know? It just doesn't happen. And I get so mad at myself.
I was late to work today 5 minutes. I'm like, why?
It's just fuck, dude. I don't know. Just kind of like my outlook on life and like my future, and I don't know, man. Just a lot of things I want to change. The good thing is, like, I
feel like you're pretty like super self-aware in a sense. I mean, I'm sure everyone thinks that, you know. But I do think that you think about it a lot, you know, more than maybe some.
Yeah.
And I think
overthinking's a big one.
The therapist will appreciate that, and like it'll give her a good map. Like, okay, this is how you think, and
yeah,
it'll be easy. Like you're not the type to be like, no, I'm not. You'd be like, oh yeah, I could see that, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's already like a good step.
I remember my counseling class, my professor, she was a therapist, and she would say like, those are the best clients, the ones that just like open up, like, because their job basically is to kind of like ask you questions to like get you to open up and like kind of guide you through that. And she was saying how much of like a bitch it is when your person just like doesn't want to open up, or like they're being hella short with you and stuff. And I think I'm definitely, I'm definitely the person that'll just fucking go. Like, you know, you ask me one thing and I'll just tell you everything, you know?
So to kind of finish this off,
yeah,
what is like your expectations with this?
I don't know. That's a good question, because I think that's one of the things we have to talk about is like my goals, you know? Definitely to be able to handle my anxiety more and like just be content with like going with the flow of life instead of trying to like control everything. I think I have a problem with that. Like trying to make sure everything's perfect all the time and like not making mistakes. I want to be okay with like just whatever happens and kind of going with the flow. Just being able to like handle my anxiety mainly, honestly. I don't know. I'll figure it out, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see. I think after the first session, I'll show you a lot, you know?
Just know I get pretty uncomfortable at times, like real uncomfortable and more than I should. And like my anxiety scares me sometimes because I'm like, I feel like this a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like
you
most
said,
days of the week.
Your reaction is anxiety. It's not boldness.
Yeah.
It's not like to be angry. It's not to fight back or anything. It's just like anxiety.
Yeah. I'm like, for what? Like, why the fuck am I anxious? What's going to happen? Like, it's fine, you know, but I think I just need to work through that. You know?
Anything to the viewers about it?
I'd say go for it. I mean, fuck, I put it off forever, so it's like there's some things you just have to fucking force yourself to do, you know?
Yeah.
It's like homework almost, where it's like you don't want to do it, but you fucking just gotta like
Do it.
really just be like, I'm doing this, you know? And the crazy thing too, I remember saying on this podcast, I think, or maybe not on the pod, but I remember telling you, I think I'd set like a time constraint in my head where I was like
within
I'm
2 months
doing
or
it.
something.
No, I think I was like
2
this week.
weeks.
Like this week I'm gonna look for a therapist, and I didn't do it. Like,
Yeah.
and that was like a month or two ago.
Yeah.
But I think doing that like put a lot of pressure on me to do it, because it's like I failed that goal and now I really need to do it, you know?
Yeah.
So I think fucking whatever it takes, like write it down, tell someone to keep you accountable,
Yeah.
something, you know? But you gotta just fucking force yourself, even because it's like when you're in the good times and you feel okay and everything's okay, it's like you think you don't need it, but like I'm sure it can fucking help. And I started journaling too, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and that shit's been amazing. Like I'll journal, and there's sometimes where I'm like in kind of like a situation where I can't journal, like I'm driving to work or like home from work or something, and I'll just like take out my phone and I'll like start a video and I'll just record myself talking.
Oh, nice.
I love doing that.
Remember when I
like,
said that I did that like a couple times when I was like,
good.
I couldn't write, so I would just do a voice memo.
I think especially for us, because we're kind of used to being like on camera and shit.
Yeah.
So it's like I could see for some people that might be weird and like tense to hear yourself. Well, you know, I don't even listen to them. I just talk
Say
to get
what
it
you
out,
say,
you know?
yeah.
And I never read my journals after either. But that's been great, and I think that's been a big step towards it too, like making me realize like, damn, this shit actually works. I used to journal a lot more, but then I stopped for like a year, and now I've been doing it. I'm just like, this shit's amazing. Like
Yeah, it really
it
is
works
great.
wonders.
Yeah.
It's really good. So yeah, man. I don't know.
That's nice though.
What about you? How you feeling? Because we talked about it before. You asked your doctor for
Yeah.
like
Well,
recommendations, and obviously you got none, right?
well, I did. So, God, you're ahead, man.
Hella red.
So I mean,
You did?
I'm kind of ashamed.
Ah,
I know.
you fuck.
So what happened was, I got a call, but it was like an unknown number, so I didn't answer. But I got a voicemail.
Yeah.
Let's see if I could find it real quick,
Yeah.
because I don't have much voicemails. Because not a lot of people are calling me and leaving me voicemails.
I get hella voicemails, but it's always like spam shit. It's like a high pitched ass like.
Pause.
At Gonzalez, licensed clinical social worker at BetterHelp. You can call me back at 209-573-7408, just following up on a recent visit that you had at our office. Again,
Yeah, she called me 3 times and I haven't answered. I don't know.
How come you never told me about that?
I just got ashamed.
Were you so ashamed?
Yeah, just ashamed, dude.
Man.
It's just hard.
That's crazy, bro. Because that's. I think that's a therapist. It's either a therapist or that's a social worker who's gonna assign you.
Yeah.
But like, you have it made right there because you have your insurance, so you're probably not gonna pay very much at all.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Well, fuck with the
Who
shit you had
knows?
done
Yeah,
before.
fuck, I'll probably have to
But
pay
like,
more.
you're really close right there
Oh,
because
I'm
like
at the door.
you're right there. You know, call her tomorrow.
The thing is, okay, so let me
Do it.
Let me explain my thought process to kind of like, for people who might feel the same, you know.
Yeah.
So I remember it all started when it was like, this is not even that much, but
It was
you know
all
when
a
the
dream.
doctor was like, oh, you know, like anxiety is normal, and
Yeah.
whatever, and I was like, no, like I know I'm good, you know, like I know I need it, you know,
Yeah.
and I didn't feel like weird about it or anything. But then I don't know, I just started thinking, and I was like, well, then what do I want, like specifically? Because then, like you said, it's kind of you kind of have to communicate exactly. You can't just be like, I want to get better. I mean, you could start like that, honestly. Just
Yeah.
saying that would probably help. It's better than nothing. So I'm not saying like it wouldn't do anything, but I know eventually you're gonna need more. I just remember just like overthinking. Like I just really had to like sit down and like think about it and what do I want.
Yeah.
And that just became like super like overwhelming.
Like a burden.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
like I had to get this down before I call. And then they called me, and then I didn't answer, and I got the voicemail. I was like, oh, I'm not ready. Like, I don't know. I had to, like, talk to them, and I don't know if I could do that before work, or what am I going to do? And then I was like, okay, well. And then she called me again. Then I didn't answer, and then I was like, okay, I'll just do it tomorrow. And then I didn't, and then I didn't. And then she called me again. And then now it's been so long where
how long ago? Yeah, how long
been
ago?
a month.
Did you? A month ago?
Yeah.
I mean, too bad.
I'm in my head, I'm like, it's too late, but it's like,
no,
they're not going to be like, oh, it's expired.
It'll be fucking fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I just get like so overwhelmed. I just so overwhelmed, like, because I just imagine them answering and be like, okay, like, what do you need? And I'm like, I don't know. You know, like, I just feel like I'm gonna freeze, but I'm not.
Well, they're not gonna ask you that off the bat. You just be
Yeah,
like, I want to start
exactly,
therapy.
and I don't know. You just start
you
thinking
set
of the
it up,
worst.
and they're gonna guide you. It's gonna be good.
But I just get more ashamed at the like, because I was so hyped that I did that first step, you know?
Yeah.
And then now I just can't finish it. But I mean, I want to, and I will.
Yeah.
And
you should do it, man. You should put a little pressure on yourself.
Yeah, it's like some
in a good
accountability.
way,
You know, like
yeah.
I could do a bunch of other shit that is not important.
Do you want me to know you about it and text you? I'm pretty good at that.
Give me a week.
No.
Give me a week.
Come on.
Okay.
What are you waiting for?
I don't know. Yeah. I'll call. Yeah,
I'll definitely be updating.
Annoy me.
Okay.
And update us on the therapy.
I'll definitely be updating, the pod and shit. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. But
Yeah, maybe we don't have to go super deep every time. You could just be like, or especially the first one, I think it was pretty good. Like you could go deep again, but
yeah.
I'm sure every session will be like, okay, well,
I'm not gonna update everything. But what did Issa say when she told you? How did that go?
I have the conversation right here.
Motherfucker,
actually.
man.
I know. I'm sorry.
I should have told her. I should have told her
Yeah, it
because she
wasn't
probably
her
assumed you
fault.
knew.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, we talk about each other, everything.
Yeah.
She felt super bad too.
Oh, you told her it's supposed to be a secret?
Yeah. So I said,
Because I would have told you, like instantly. I just feel so proud of myself, man.
yeah, keep
I
talking
know
for a
so
second.
like few people who have actually gone into therapy, and I know so many people who are like, yeah, I want to, So it's just a big accomplishment because I fucking put it off forever, man. But that much talking, huh?
Well, I don't know where it's at. It's not on this conversation. I just have one more option, and then if it's not,
Do you remember generally how it went? Did she just bring it up out of the blue? Like,
I forgot why. Oh, there it is. Sorry.
you guys were like, Chris is so fucking handsome and a great person.
No, I was like, Chris needs therapy.
And
Because I was telling him a little bit about the telling her a little bit about the trip,
oh, shrooms.
and then she like kept literally knowing everything I was saying.
Oh, it's because I told her
And I was
already.
like, damn, Chris, be quick with the updates, lol. Mofo ain't even home yet. Cause
I was already
bro,
talking to her, I think,
it's
about
like,
something.
Literally, I texted her when I got home, which is like before you got home. Wait. Like
yeah,
at the same
maybe
time
while I
almost.
was driving.
And I was like, dude, how? Like, we got home at the same time, you know?
Yeah.
She said, Lamau, it wasn't too much context at all. Actually, I was like, She said, he sent me a 5-minute audio about landing a therapist. And then whatever.
Oh, shit.
I was like, but it was beautiful. Like, bro, what? What did you bring out? I was like, he got one, exclamation point. Like, not you exposing him because he probably wanted to surprise me on the pod, Lamau.
Literally? You
And
know
she
me
said,
too well.
Oh my gosh. No, fuck. No way, fuck. No. Sorry. I said, that's okay. She said, I feel bad now.
It's fine.
Yeah, I was like,
It
but
literally would have been a surprise, and then we had the same conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it would have been a crazy surprise. It would have been nice because that's like
Yeah.
such a monumental moment.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Issa. No, just kidding.
Whatever.
But I remember saying, oh, it's okay. I'm going to start off with saying I got one. But I didn't. But I would have been so, like, I knew once you said, like, I knew once you said, like, oh, hey, I have to tell you something. I was going to be like, I had to tell you something too. But then I didn't want you to get excited because I didn't,
Yeah.
All right. Well, we should kind of call it now.
Do you want to watch it's a very short current event that I had, or should we just cut it?
I think we should cut it.
All right.
Okay. Well, can I pee and then we could go?
Yeah.
I just been holding
Go
it.
pee. Quick little, kind of a current event, kind of just a crazy fucking thing I saw, and I wanted to show you. I have this shit. Current events. I've been saving these on Instagram. Okay. In Pennsylvania, there's a fucking house that exploded.
I
And
saw that.
Oh, yeah? Because we follow that same page. But when I say exploded, you guys, it fucking exploded. Like, it's not just like there was a fire and maybe a little popping.
It was a Cartoon Network
fucking
explosion. Like,
CGI explosion in real life. It's fucking insane. Look at this shit. I'll put it on the screen. I'll do it one more time. The fucking noise, too.
Dude, that was fucking. Look at it.
Bro, the house is gone in an instant. In an instant. That's
Holy
nuts.
shit, dude. That would bring down
I mean,
the property damage of any neighborhood.
The property value.
Yeah.
Then oh shit, that's kind of loud. Let me just read the caption real quick. 5 people have died and 1 person is in critical condition after a home exploded in Plum, Pennsylvania today. This was on August 13th, so like 2 weeks ago, a week ago. According to officials, 4 adults and 1 child died from the explosion. 2 victims, a father and a son, have been identified as, I don't want to read their names. Assistant Chief of Allegheny County Emergency Services, Steve whatever, said that an investigation into the cause of the explosion is now underway, with some saying it was likely due to a gas leak, he added. The investigation may last for months, if not years. Like, Jesus. Mike Huar, president of People's Gas, the company that provides gas services to the neighborhood, announced that gas was shut off to the neighborhood as crews checked in for gas leaks. He added that the system had been operating as designed. It's crazy though, bro. You never know, you know?
Yeah, like
it's just... I was just thinking, you get these intrusive thoughts sometimes, and you're like, nah. You know? Like, I remember as a kid, I would think, like, what if a plane just, like, crashed into my fucking house right now?
Yeah.
You know?
Or a car just goes through your front
or
lawn.
fell out of the sky. And then you're like, nah. Yeah, the car one I would think of a lot. Like, especially if I was by a window, kind of like a wall against the street. My room, too, is, like, right in. So, yeah, you do think about that. Like, I could just be fucking murdered at any time.
And I told this on the pod before, but my family would always, like, at least a handful of times, leave the gas on.
Oh, really?
Like,
The stove?
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's always so fucking scary.
With the flame going or just the gas?
The gas, just the gas.
So scary.
Because I think it was the flame, and then it went out, and it was just gas. You know, like you leave it on for too long.
It's scary, too, because I think it only has, like, such a minor odor. And it's so minor that you get, like, nose blind, they call it, where you can't fucking smell it anymore. And it's like, all it takes is, like,
and
you light a candle or
like,
something.
You know, we cook and stuff in the afternoon, and then you go to sleep.
Yeah.
So, like, this happened recently. Like, within 3 months. 3 months ago, I walked in back at the old place in Ripon, and it smelled like gas.
Oh, I
and
remember you said that.
And I was like, holy shit. Like, you know, the gas. And I didn't want to turn it back on, like,
Yeah.
or off, because, you know, like, it's like...
Yeah.
You know, like
you didn't even want the spark.
Yeah, so I made Roger do it, and I was going to die anyways. But
did you open all the windows and shit?
Yeah, but dude, that shit scares me so much. Because like I
Feels
said, to turn
scary.
it off, you have to like... You just have to turn it off.
Yeah.
Like, but it goes over the on.
Really? Because mine, I press it and I turn it, and all the way at the bottom is where it clicks to spark.
For ours, like especially Alex's,
Yours
you go
is like flame?
You go next to it, like right away, it goes.
Ah.
You know.
Damn.
And then even at the old house, I think it was the same thing. It was like, you know. So then every time you turn it off, you pass that spark. But every time they did it, it wasn't gonna blow up.
Did he like
you
wear
know?
a mask or anything when he
I
did
just-
it? Fuck.
He was like, oh fuck, you know.
Damn.
And then I was super scared of electricity too, just because like jumper cables, like
Yeah, that
anything
shit's
that
scary.
has wires,
Jump-starting a
anything
car.
like electricity just fucks you. You know.
Yeah. Did you
Like-
get scared? Okay, I know your speakers for your record player. You have to like manually kind of put those wires in,
Yeah.
right? Did you get scared with
But
that?
yeah, like it just looks so like
Scary.
electrifiable.
Yeah.
You know.
It looks fucking scary.
But man, poor family. You know.
Hey, when you were a kid, would your power go out a lot? I remember so many fucking times as a kid, like, be like, oh, power's out. Like, there'd be a storm and then the fucking house is black, and I'd be so scared.
maybe like twice, but I liked that.
Really?
I remember there was
It's
one.
like an adventure kind of.
Oh, yeah, I mean it was just cool. I don't think I took it serious. You know.
I remember being scared for some reason. Like, I hated it. We had a big ass house too. Like, not crazy big, but like 2 stories, and my room was like kind of secluded, and it was like
So it was like
scary,
really weird
you know?
and dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember this story. Not really had to do with this. I don't know if I said this on the pod. I think I have. I remember one time it was like a storm happening. It was just raining hard, you know.
Mm-hmm.
My dad used to do construction, so he'd come home like he'd have to drive far to come home.
Yeah.
I remember we were waiting for him, and for some reason, I mean, I was still too young, but I think like they were just like super concerned.
That he wasn't gonna come.
Yeah,
home or
and like
something
because when he
happened.
came in, I remember like my mom hugged him like hard.
Oh
I was
shit.
like, Jesus. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And actually, this might be 2 different memories, but another besides that, I remember it being like raining and whatever, and all my family, like everyone was besides my dad, was like laying in this bed, and we all slept together.
Oh,
One, it
wow.
was cute, like it was
Yeah.
really cute, but I remember I had the scariest fucking nightmare in my life.
Really?
Like it was so scary. I
Did
just
you
remember,
wake up like ah?
I don't remember. I think I broke up tripping though, because I just remember it was like a guy in a wheelchair, And he just was like had a weird voice and like he wanted to grab me or something. And it was like with my family too. Like it was just so weird.
wow.
And I think it like integrated itself into real life because like I think the setting was the bed too.
So you're scared with people in wheelchairs?
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, you're not able. You know? But dude, that fucked me up. Anyways, I wanted to tell this story for a while. It's not that crazy, but it's just something that just I remembered.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time we were at the Enoch's parking lot. I think this is at the time my sisters were going there because I don't think I was going there at the time.
Oh.
And they were doing something inside that we had to just wait because my mom was a ride.
Yeah.
And like, tell me if you have anything similar, like a similar story from like with your mom. I remember we were waiting for so long in the parking lot, and I had to pee. And she was like, you can't pee, you know, like there's nowhere to pee. I was like, dude, I had to pee.
It's one of the worst feelings in the world.
Yeah.
Like having to fucking shit or pee
Yeah.
and you can't.
You can't. And I'm in the car, and I told her, open your mouth. And she got
What?
so pissed. She like, I think she slapped me. Like, I'd never get hit. And she got so mad. She was like, you never say that again. And I didn't mean it in like a bad, like, I don't, in my head, it wasn't like I'm peeing in your mouth. I was just like, I had to pee. Like, it was jokingly, but.
No fucking
oh,
way.
Dude, she got so.
You meant it as a
fucking-
joke?
Yeah, like, I wasn't going to actually pee in her mouth.
Because she said there's nowhere to go and you said open it.
Yeah, like, let me in your mouth, like, you know? And she got so pissed, dude. I got so scared.
Did she hit you?
Yeah, I think so. Or
Potentially.
she at least, like, her. Dude, like, you could tell it's serious. Like, she got so
Wow.
disrespected. And, oh, my gosh.
Do you think she got upset because she thought, like, that's a sexual statement and you should never say that?
No,
when
I
you're
think she
too
just thought it
young?
was, like, disrespectful. Like,
Oh
you
my
know, like, you're almost like you
God.
pee on someone. Like, you know, you're not going to, don't tell someone you're gonna, like, in her mind, you know, it's like, don't tell someone you're going to pee on them or in them or whatever. And it's your mom, you know?
Yeah.
And I could see it, you know? It's pretty wild.
Oh, my
And
God.
I just remember being like,
That's fucked.
holy shit, what the hell? Like, what did I just say? Like, I didn't think it was that bad, you know?
Yeah. Something comes to mind. I remember, I just feel like as a kid, you hear shit on TV or like in movies or shows and you just kind of repeat it like in those similar situations. But then it's real life and it's not a fucking joke, you know?
Yeah. There's no laugh. There's no laugh
It's no
audience,
laugh reel.
You know? Yeah.
You know? Yeah, and I remember doing that to my mom once. I think like we were in the car. I think we were gonna go to like swim somewhere, or maybe we were going on vacation. Like we're talking about like swimming in the hotel pool or something. And I think she made a joke or something like, oh, I didn't bring a swimsuit, and she's probably like, oh, I could go buy like a string bikini or something, or like probably a joke like that. And I think I was probably like 8 years old or like 10, so young, not even 10, not that old. And I remember my response when she said like, oh, I could go buy like a bikini or something. I think I was like, yeah, nobody wants to see that. And she got fucking mad. Like she was like, that is really mean and you don't need to say that or something like that.
my
Like she
God.
got on my ass and she was like, that's fucked up basically. And I felt so fucking bad
you feel
because
so
I didn't mean
bad.
it to be mean. I just meant to be funny. Like I wanted to be funny.
You're like, chill, mom. Just fucking take a joke. Shit.
I remember that. And I remember one time I was in first grade. This was one of the most like embarrassing moments of my young childhood. I was in first grade. I don't know if this happened like when you were in elementary school, but when I was, we would have buddies, they call them, and they're older kids. So like we had 5th grade buddies. So the 5th grade class would come to like our first grade class and they would just like kick it with us, or like they would help us with our work or whatever and just be like our friends, kind of like pen pal type of thing, but like in person. And I remember my sister was in 5th grade and her class was the class that was our buddies. So she was in my classroom
Shit.
when I was in first grade, like, you know, once a week or whatever. And I had this buddy, his name was Justin. He was really cool. Or like I thought he was really cool because he was older and whatever. And I don't know who my sister was buddies with, but she was in the class, you know?
Not you. Shit.
And I remember my teacher, I think her name was Mrs. Hollis. She was giving instructions of like what to do. And I remember I'd seen this in a movie too. And while she was giving instructions, I was just sitting there and I was like, I was doing this with both hands. I was going like this, thinking I was funny. And like probably trying to be funny for my fucking buddy. And I remember she looked at me. She saw me, my teacher. And she said, and it's crazy, bro, because they call me Chris. Like, I always have gone by Chris in school. And she was like, Christopher. Like, she fucking, like, got so firm. It said my full name, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
You said, "Who's this bitch?"
And dude, she fucking shit on me like so hard.
Like she just lectured you
She's
about
like,
it.
"That is so disrespectful and rude." And like my sister was there, and I felt so fucking embarrassed, bro. It's just like some stupid shit you see on TV,
Oh
and
my
you think
gosh.
it's funny.
Did your sister? Do you remember your sister?
And I
anything?
remember, I think my sister was like, "Your face turns so red."
Yeah.
And that happens to me, like, not as much anymore, but I
Especially as a
hate
kid.
that, bro. As a kid, my face would get so red if I was embarrassed. And yeah, man, it's fucking rough.
That's fucking hilarious, man. All right. Let's call it, yeah.
Let's call it.
All right, guys. Well, that was that. You know, take your shrooms wisely.
Yeah.
Choose your therapist
Don't
wisely.
be afraid to say no to that if it's too much or
Yeah.
not the right time.
Yeah.
And
No,
maybe start little baby steps, you know?
smaller the better.
Yeah.
In this case, really.
Yeah.
Anything you want to close off with?
Not really, man. Kind of burnt.
Proud of you, though. You know,
Yeah.
that's fucking crazy because, like Chris said, talked about it for a long time.
Long
So I'm
time.
proud of you that you did it. You know, like you
Yeah.
did it. Like, you know, I'm sure you've imagined this many times. To be
Yeah.
like, hey, I got a therapist. Like
Yeah,
saying
that
the,
moment.
the victorious
it.
feeling that you got, you know, that you
Yeah.
get by saying that. So I'm glad that you did that. And like, you should be proud of yourself and don't let this pass so quick. Like, really be in it and be like, dude, I did that, you know?
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I'm really proud of you. And I can't wait to see your journey. And you'll
Thanks.
probably,
I'm be getting on you to do it every once in a while.
yeah, you're right. Alrighty.
All right.
See
Thanks
you
for
guys
watching.
next time. Yeah.
It's been the Cozy Show. Like and subscribe, please.
Yep. Follow the Instagrams, everything in description.
Yeah.
Comment, have you guys done shrooms and how was the experience?
All right.
And if not, why haven't you? Peace.
Peace.
Nice. Look at you. Congratulations, man.
I can't believe she told you.
Alright.
Fucking shit.
It's
It's alright. It's not that big of a deal. I was so excited to tell you that.
I know.
I was like,
I'm so happy for you, man. That's so crazy. That's so great. I can't wait.
Whoosh,